So that's why so many people are using bikes in the city, mothers with kids going to school, because of the system that is made. Today's shir is Uli Nishmas My Babe, Henyechana Bas Shendel, L'chaim, Baruch Atah Adonai Melchem, Shahakal Nebedvari. One of the important things about the Birkhas is you have to really drink something with a kavanah that it's very delicious. And what is that? No, yeah, I'll give you a bottle. And the Arizal, when he used to daven, so he couldn't daven every day with kavanah. It was very intense kavanahs. As you see, the Alter Rebbe made a siddur for the masses, because the siddurim that Arizal made was very complicated and different shittas and very extensive, and pretty much they were davening all day. So what you have is you have a concept. You need, when you make a bracha Birkhas Hanenin, you have to taste a very good beer, and you're being yaitza all the other beers and drinks that you had, and also a very good type of meat and very good type of sausage. You're being milo everything you ate. So we're gonna, with this geschmack beer here in this little place full of restaurants right and left, every corner you turn, it's mamish unbelievable competition, you could say, but very good tasting. I see that. That's people riding bikes very frequently, and it's very helpful for such a city. Imagine that they couldn't control the theft, then there would be no bikes, and the whole transportation system would be affected. Baruch Atah Adonai Melchem, Shahakal Nebedvari. I can't explain how good it tastes. I just want to mention very quickly, I'm reading Rabbi Shais Taub's post in COL about problems in Tanya. He says they're scientific, and problems are scientific in nature. Well, that's not possible, because scientific has to be natural, and Tanya talks about supernatural. He does speak about the elements, Arbi Yesodis, and he says it is based on Aristotle. It's not, the elements that we have today in science is not based in Aristotle, it's maybe rooted in Aristotle, which it's rooted means anything like you could say something good happened to you, but it was rooted in a bad story. It's rooted like chemistry and is rooted in alchemy, but alchemy, and a lot of alchemists were studying Eitz Chaim and Zohar to understand how to affect in natural ways of creation, in more like natural ways, which makes no sense if you know about science. You when you mix elements, you could create something, but you can't create ex nihilo. Only allegedly God can do that, or that the only explanation for creating ex nihilo is God so far, or magic, or miracles. It depends, or gods, or ghosts, or creators. So when there's a story about a sage who would go to a town before they had books, and they would tell stories to people, and he says he wanted to explain the nature of greed, and he said how the dog had a piece of meat in his mouth, and he looked into the reflection of the water and saw another dog with meat in his mouth, and he was greedy. He wanted to steal the meat of the other dog, and by trying to do that, he lost his own piece of meat by opening his mouth. So the Tanya is not a book of science, and it's not even a book of philosophy. It's maybe a book of theology and Likutei Eitzos for people's problems at the time. These were people that were thinking in medieval terms, and the Alter Rebbe only writes based on the science that was available in his time. The Tanya is a book of faith, maybe a book of meditation. We like to say words of Tanya, remember it by heart, but you can't use it to understand. And believers don't have problems with Tanya. They read Tanya, they don't have any issue. And people who are educated understand it the way it was written for the place it was written. It gives a description, but you can't use the Tanya to try to reconcile with science without like you're being greedy. You want the educated people also to respect the Tanya, and that's, you're going to lose also the believers, because then someone's going to make a Sheni v'Chamishi and he's going to break it down and explain, and I'm going to give in all additions in the link below of what is philosophy, what is science, and what is theology, and what is the history of alchemy to chemistry and the Yesodis, the way we understand them. So they're not what you call problems or difficulties in Tanya. It's simply the Tanya was written by the Alter Rebbe for the people in his time. That's all. That's it.